The insight here is that money becomes a peer-to-peer agreement. In fact, this is how money came to be in the first place. Before government mandated fiat money or paper currency, we used commodities such as shells or precious metals like bronze because they had intrinsic value. And because people agreed on the intrinsic value of these commodities through a free market peer-to-peer mechanism, these commodities served the functions of money. But they had their limitations. In addition to serving the main functions of money, money must also possess some core characteristics. It must be durable so it can withstand repeated use and last over long periods of time, making it a store of value. Portability so that you can transfer the money or carry it with you, helping it to function as a medium of exchange. It must be divisible into small units of value, enabling it to function as a unit of account. Uniformity, meaning any two units of the money should be countable, measurable, and recognizable. And this also ties in with the acceptability. It must be widely regarded as money in the marketplace so that it is usable for transactions. And finally, it must have a limited supply to maintain its value because value is strongly rooted in scarcity. So out of all the commodities that were once used as money, gold is the one that best met this criteria. For millennia, gold has served as the ultimate form of money because it has always retained its value. And that is because it has unparalleled intrinsic value, rooted in durability because it never corrodes, and more importantly, its scarcity. Because no matter how much effort is put towards the acquisition of gold, there is a limit on the maximum amount that can be obtained. And this is known as the flow. The flow is compared with the stock, which is the entirety of a substance in existence. The ratio of the stock to the flow can be used to model scarcity value. The lower the flow, the greater the ratio, and this indicates how sound or hard a money is considered with high scarcity value. So looking at this table of precious metals, we can see gold has the highest stock-to-flow ratio of 62, which corresponds with the highest market value of nearly $8.5 trillion, precisely because it has a high stock and a low flow. On the other hand, a high flow and a low stock-to-flow ratio corresponds with easy or paper money, which has low scarcity value. Well, truth be told, fiat money issued by any government has zero scarcity value. Once upon a time, the US dollar was a form of representative money when each note was backed by gold or silver. But what is it backed by now? Trust that it will be repaid by the future generations from whom it is borrowed, because debt is what the dollar truly represents. So when we evaluate the stock to flow of the US dollar, we find that it indeed does have zero scarcity value because the flow is infinite. Why is it infinite? Because the Federal Reserve simply has to push a button and it magically creates dollars out of thin air. In fact, here is Neil Kashkari, the Minneapolis Federal Reserve Chief, clarifying just
Can you
that.
characterize everything that the Fed has done this past week as essentially flooding the system with money?
Yes, exactly.
And there's no end to your ability to do that.
There is no end to our ability to do that.
Is the Fed just going to print money?
That's literally what Congress has told us to do. That's the authority that they've given us to print money and provide liquidity into the financial system. And that's how we do it. We create it electronically, and then we can also print it with the Treasury Department, print it so that you can get money out of your ATM.
This was a variation of the money printer go burr meme that has been making the rounds as the Federal Reserve has printed over $4 trillion this past month. So while the number of dollars in your bank account or portfolio goes up, unfortunately, this kind of reckless printing has diluted your hard-earned wealth, as the purchasing power of $1 is now equal to about 5 cents. And this is the fundamental difference between currency and money. Though they function as a medium of exchange and a unit of account, currencies are debased through inflation or printing, and therefore are not a store of value.